Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at etrailer, and today we'll be taking a look at our Yakima LongHaul hanging style bike rack right here on our 2020 Thor Coleman Motorhome. So the Yakima LongHaul is a great option for when you want to carry multiple bikes on your trip. While it does not have the great weight capacity that some of our RV rated platform bike racks have, it does have a lot of quantity that it can carry. So you can carry 1, 2, 3, 4 bikes on this. So if you have your family, you are all going for a trip in your Coleman Motorhome, this might be a good option for you. So we'll take a look in this video just to see if it's the right fit for you, your bikes, and your motorhome. First off, I want to take a look at the way our bike is mounted to this bike rack. We have 3 mounting points right over here. So 1, 2, 3, and this third is going to be where our anti-sway cradle is. So just to kind of show how that works, I have our zip strip out. You can see how much sway we have with that off. We'll move this just to get some clearance. And then when you put it on, this is how you do it. You just line that up and then just tighten that down, and suddenly you have a lot less sway. So still some sway, but big difference with it off. And when you want to take your bike off, this is also where you would start. You just press those levers and you just take it off just like that. So they're called zip strips just because of how quick and easy they are to use compared to the rubber straps that some other bike racks have. Those take a little bit more effort in order to wrap around your frame, so this is nice. And with those removed, you just move your anti-sway cradles in towards your bike rack. That way you get a little bit more clearance as you lift your bike up and through the arms. There we go. So I'm going to set the bike over to the side so that we can take a closer look at the bike rack itself. One thing I really want to look at right now is, or I guess are, the cradles. So notice how we have these cushions on our cradles as well as these grooves. So those grooves are going to be used for your brake lines, and then the cushion is going to be for your frame. Even the zip strips have that cushion on top, so that way on the top and the bottom of your frame you have that cushion there, just preventing the extra scuffs and scratches as you travel, but also providing that very important grip. So grip is a very key word here, because any bike rack on a motorhome or on an RV needs to have that extra grip and extra stability. So that's what we'll take a look at with this bike rack. So notice how we have those 4 cradles. We took a look at the construction of the cradles, but how are they set up on our bike rack? They sit about 5.5 inches away from each other, so they're kind of close together. You do get 2 safety straps with this system though, so I highly recommend using that to kind of cinch your bikes together. Notice also how at the end we have your signature Yakama bottle opener, as well as the mounting point for the Keyblock. So that Keyblock is integrated into your bike rack, goes around all 4 bikes, and locks right over there at the end, which is helpful because as your motorhome is parked, you want to make sure that it's also secure. Now, let's take some measurements just to see kind of how it works on our motorhome. The first is going to be the length added to the back of it. Probably not going to be as big of a deal since you're already driving around an extra long vehicle, but measuring from our bumper to those signature bottle openers, it sits at about 42 inches of length added to the back of our vehicle. Looking at closest point, that's going to be from the bumper to the mast, around 8 inches of clearance right over there. Now, what you can also do is, if you're not planning on taking your bikes out just yet, or maybe you've already taken them out, you're ready to go for a ride, but you just want to make sure that your motorhome looks a little bit more neat while it's at the campsite or the resort or wherever you're going, you can fold these arms down. To do so, you just pull that button on top, very easy to access, and fold these down right there. So notice how they now hold itself or secure itself in the down position. We'll take some measurements again. Measuring from that bumper end of the rack, which is now by the end of the cradles, it sits at 13 inches. So big difference compared to when the arms were up I definitely recommend folding them down for when, let's say, you want to store the bike rack in your garage. This is a lot more compact and portable, or for if you want it just to be a little bit more neat behind your motorhome, even when you're not planning on taking your bikes out for a ride. Let's talk about how this fits into our hitch. So what I have here is a 2-inch shank on our Yakima LongHaul. It fits into the 2-inch hitch receiver on our Coleman Motorhome. It also includes a hitch lock. I don't have that on right now, but it looks the exact same as the cable lock that is included with your bike rack. So notice how that cable lock looks. Well, the lock for this and the lock for that is key to like, so you only need one key to access the entire system. I highly recommend getting up or picking up some extra Yakima lock cores if you have other Yakima accessories, because then you can use that same key system to key them all alike, which is great. But anyways, talking about how this fits into our hitch, for one, I'm using the etrailer hitch pin alignment collar. That's to make it easier whenever I install this onto the Coleman Motorhome. I just set it up one time, then I don't have to be looking back and forth to make sure everything is aligned. Also, with that anti-rattle bolt, you do get a tool from Yakima in order to tighten it down, or you could do what I do to make my life a lot easier. I use a 15/16 socket or a 24mm socket, and I use a wrench to tighten it down. So much faster, so much easier that way. But with that in place, notice how as I shake our shank kind of right over here to simulate that road sway, I'm mainly moving the Coleman Motorhome at this point, showing how secure that fit is between the hitch receiver and our shank. Very important to tighten that down properly. That way you can also reduce the sway, or like you don't get extra sway with your bikes as you are on the road and driving down the highway. Alright, so my personal thoughts about this bike rack is at 37.5 pounds of weight capacity per bike is pretty good. That's usually just a little bit more than your average or traditional weight capacity for bike racks, for hanging racks. Now, if you do have extra heavy electric bikes, this is not going to be the best fit for you. My best option for you would be something like the Swagman E-Spec or the Yakima on-ramp platform rack. That has a lot more weight capacity, but you are limited to 2 bikes. So if you want to carry around 4 bikes, your whole family wants to go, all your friends want to go, and they have their bikes with them, this might be a really good option for you. You have all those different features for security as well as anti-sway, making for a safer and more fun ride for you as well as your bicycles on your trip. So all in all, that was a really quick look here at our Yakima LongHaul 4-bike hanging style rack right here on our 2020 Thor Coleman Motorhome.
Now we're going to go ahead and take it on our test course. First we'll start with the slaloms. This is going to show the side-to-side action. It's kind of going to mimic the movements that you'll see whenever you're driving down the road normally. And now with the fold speed bumps, these are going to be pretty much like normal speed bumps. You get to see the up and down action of the bike rack and see how it holds up. Now we'll have the alternating speed bumps. This is going to be more so like the uneven roads and some of that uneven terrain you might be traveling on.